right, welcome everyone to the Restless Nerd Podcast. This is episode 3 of the Restless Nerd Podcast. My name's Tom, and joining me is my brother, Tim.
Oh, wait. There we go. Sorry, my mic was cutting out. How's it going?
Pretty good. We're finally back. Finally back for another episode. It's been a couple weeks. I was trying to do every other week, but we've had a lot going on, and I finally got back to work, so kind of interfered with things. But we're back in full force, and we're ready to go with some nerdy news and some information for people, ranging from video games, comic books, computers. We're all over the place this week, so let's get right into it. So first, earlier this week, there was the surprise Nintendo Direct Mini, and kind of just popped up on Monday. And they had some good news, but it was a little bit lackluster. A lot of people weren't super excited with what they saw. I think they were expecting a lot more, but I mean, I was interested in a couple things. The Shin Megami Tensei 5 and Nocturne specifically was a big one that I was a bit excited about. So, what did you think about it?
Well, I don't know if you had saw before, but there were supposedly some leaks of what was supposed to happen. So they had leaked out that there was going to be a direct. It was probably like, I don't know, the month before the direct happened. And people were hyping it up because there was a whole rumor of the Super Mario 35th anniversary collection, and it was supposed to have all these games, Sunshine, Mario 64, and everything. So everyone was like, okay, well, it's leaked that this direct is happening, and it was leaked that this collection was supposed to come out. So everyone was all hype about it. And then in the morning, they were like, it's a mini direct. And then people were like, what? And they were like, yeah, it's a partner direct. So pretty much smashed everyone's dreams. But I kind of liked it. You know, I've never played a Shin Megami Tensei game, but that reveal gave me chills. Like it was like,
Yeah.
wow, I can't wait to play that game.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I've played a few. I played Persona, the first Persona, and Persona 2, because I had them on PlayStation. And then I sold them because I needed money, and they were selling for like ridiculous amounts of money at the time. But but yeah, I heard a lot about Nocturne. It's a lot of people played it on PS2 and they liked it. So I think the remake's going to be pretty interesting. So we'll see how that goes. So you didn't like WWE 2K Battlegrounds? That wasn't a game you were looking forward to from this direct.
That was sad.
Oh, we have two viewers. Viewers, what were you looking forward to anything for Nintendo to announce? Were you guys waiting for anything? Because I don't know. I didn't really get anything from that direct. I mean, that Rogue Company game doesn't look too bad. That's it's cross-platform. I think what was it, a third-person shooter,
What
but
is it? Is it like a battle royale? I think.
I think I can't remember if it's like a battle royale or if it's just a like a team deathmatch kind of game, like kind of like a multiplayer for Call of Duty, but it's like a free-to-play type of situation.
Yeah, it seemed like it was going to be pretty cool.
I mean, it looks pretty cool. If you can get a shooter on the Switch, like I'm not complaining too much about it. If there's more than just Fortnite to play on the Switch, that's a lot a lot better for
Yeah.
people who like first person shooters, especially if you have a Switch Lite and you're on the go. And let's say you want to play a shooter just out of the blue, at least you have options. Especially with Apex Legends supposed to come out also on the Switch, I think that'll be good. That'll be something fun for people to look forward to.
What's your opinion on it being hyped up as possibly having a Mario collection?
See, I was kind of excited about that. I was looking forward to like a 3D bundle, especially because I mainly use the Switch Lite. I have a regular Switch, but I mainly use it for Super Smash Brothers. You know that great game. And yeah, I don't know. I would have liked to have that, a 3D collection of Super Mario. I mean, there's so many collections and remakes out nowadays, from Devil May Cry to Secrets of Mana to everything under the sun. I have a Guacamelee collection for Nintendo Switch. So you would think Nintendo would want to get in on this and have a collection of some sort, and that would be a great entry into that, because you have all the different 3D Mario games, from Mario 64 to Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy. It would just be a good bundle for everyone to have, and it'll be something that not a lot of people would have expected. So I think it would have been cool, something cool to have. A Pokemon collection would be cool. You could be playing that forever.
Yeah.
It takes up like no space, because Game Boy games and GBA games just such little space, so they could cram pretty much everything onto one chip, and then everyone could play. So I think that would be a cool collection to have. And then they can kind of have it like where you had like the Super Game Boys back in the day, where you can plug it in and then it gives you that like screen with the borders on the side. Or when you would play
Yeah.
Pokemon Stadium and you would play a Pokemon game, like have it set up like that, but you're just playing on the Switch, so you can keep it in like a 4:3 kind of aspect ratio.
Yeah, they did that with the game that I was just playing in the Collection of Mana, Final Fantasy Adventures.
Yeah.
Since it's a Game Boy game, they have it with the border and everything, and it's really cool. It looks great on the TV.
Yeah, they do that with like the Castlevania collections too, which I'm looking forward to that. So Limited Run Games is actually going to release the Castlevania collection as a physical like disc, and they're going to have a Switch version. So they're going to have Switch and PS4. So
Is it
I'm
out on the Switch already?
yeah,
Or
it's out on the Switch, but it's digital only right now. But you know,
okay.
I'm a Castlevania fan, so I would like to have that physical copy. I would probably buy both of them, the PS4 and Switch versions, just to have it. I think that would be cool. And then, so they also announced the Cadence of Hyrule Season Pass. I mean, that game doesn't look bad, but that's not something that I'm like, man, I was really looking forward to seeing that. But
Yeah, I actually have like no reference of what that even is. Isn't it like an expansion for a game or something?
yeah, so it's this game called like Cadence. Some I
Or
forget the
Crypt of the Necro Dancer.
yeah, and it's supposed to be like, I think it's like a rhythm slash like strategy game.
Mm.
So like it revolves a lot around the music, which is why they added like a bunch of songs and stuff to it. I mean, it looks like a cool game. It's not for me, but yeah, that's the thing with Switch. They have so many different kinds of games. So it's good for people. So I'm sure there was people who saw this mini direct who were happy, but I think the problem is the hype that builds up around these announcements, these conferences, because all this hype builds up for these days, and then the conference comes out, and then everybody's like, "What was that? That was not what I was expecting." But it's because they release all these alleged leaks, and then when it comes out that that's not exactly what's in the direct, then people are so much more disappointed by it.
Well, you know, it's funny. The game that came out the day after that people thought they were going to talk about is Crisis Remastered, and they didn't talk about it in the direct. So it was sort of like released, and not too many people paid attention to it when
Yeah,
it was supposed to be like a big hyped up release.
yeah, yeah. I think
So
it'll
yeah,
be
what else
interesting.
was in that direct? Nothing.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. It was short. It was really short. I woke up and it was already over. I was like, oh, I thought at least I would catch like the tail end of it, but it was done already. So, but on to the next conference, the Xbox conference, which was the other day, which also disappointed a few people. So they had a bunch of different announcements. I mean, the only thing I cared about really was Halo Infinite, because I like Halo, and I'm not usually a big Xbox fan, but I do like Halo, and Gears of War is one of my favorite games. So I like that. I like that they announced a new Fable, so that'll be good. But the thing is, both those games are also for PC. So you're not going to need a Series X to play them. You could just play them on your PC if you have a PC. So I'll probably get it on PC. And everybody was disappointed because it was mainly, yeah, look, this article, cinematics everywhere. In this article I have in front of me, there's no gameplay again. Where Sony's showcase was so much gameplay, and then they released what the console was going to look like. But so far, Microsoft has had two press conferences and have not really showed any gameplay. They showed Minecraft gameplay, and they showed now Halo Infinite gameplay, but they showed such an early build of the game that it looks like garbage. It Somebody compared it, Rich from Review Tech USA, he compared it with Halo 5, and he was like, Halo 5's graphics in 4K on the Xbox One X looks 10 times better than the build of this game that they showed during the press conference. So at that point, you rushed it to get something out there, but people weren't very happy about it.
You know what? This is kind of similar to the Nintendo Direct in that there was hype prior because people figured that Microsoft would showcase the Xbox Series S, quote unquote,
Yeah.
and absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This hype gets built up, and then people are disappointed because nothing shows up. So, oh, I have a comment from a viewer. He says, "Keep up the great content." I appreciate that. I'm doing my best. I'm new to this podcasting. I've been streaming for a little bit, but I want to really get into podcasting. I enjoy talking about many different things, from video games to comic books. So this is something I'm gonna try and keep doing, and I'm gonna try and get back on track to doing every other week. That's what I did with the first two episodes, but a lot of personal things came up, and I had to wait a couple weeks. But now we're back on track, so hopefully we can keep this going. Uh, yeah, but yeah, so many things are getting hyped up, and then people get disappointed. That's the problem. I think one of the issues is YouTube nowadays. I watch YouTube a lot. I like YouTube, but there's news and alleged information coming out every single day. And then this information builds up and builds up and builds up. And then people get disappointed by what actually happens or what actually comes out. And it's built up to a point where people are expecting too much at a certain point, and then when they don't get that, it's everyone else's fault. But
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, honestly, you have whole channels that are built off of building up hype for stuff.
yeah, that's
You know,
true.
whatever rumors come out, you know, you got people that are going to cover it.
Yeah, it's I mean, I understand a lot of people, they want to keep content going. They want to keep their content going, and they need it cuz they're trying to pull that revenue, they're trying to pull those views in cuz they need to keep that view count so they can keep the money coming in and keep their advertisers. But at a certain point, it's leaving people to expect so much more than what they're getting from the video game industry or even comic books or anything else. And we'll kind of go into that in terms of comic books later on in one of the other articles we're going to talk about, because this hype builds up about things and then it kind of messes things up from time to time. I mean, I was really excited about Halo Infinite, and I think all the hype too and all the rumors, it pressured Microsoft so much because they were like, man, everybody's talking about how we don't have gameplay, and everyone's looking forward to Halo. Let's throw this out there so we have something so they can see. But because it's such an early build, the game's probably going to look great for the Series X. The Series X is a powerful console, but this is so early on. The system's not coming out until December, and they're still working on the game. The game doesn't release until December. They probably don't have the finished product done yet. They're probably still polishing everything. But this is the build that they had right now, so they're going to show it because they want to appeal to people and they want to make people happy. But in the end, they just disappointed everyone because they're expecting, oh, it's a new system, and this isn't what I'm expecting in terms of graphics. It's corny, it's crappy, it looks like it should be run on a toaster, and it's probably going to look great. It's an open world game. Uh, it's Halo. 343 doesn't have the best track record with Halo right now, but they could redeem themselves. You never know. Wait until the game comes out and give it a chance, or wait until there's actual reviews out before you start condemning it completely. Because so many people are just throwing it against the wall and saying it's a horrible game, but the game's not even out yet.
Yeah,
it's a first build.
yeah, and if you notice, there's no ray tracing, and that's like one of the major things that they're pushing. So
Yeah,
it's like, of course, it's not going to be the final build because there's no ray tracing. I mean, that's what they're hyping up the most. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt.
yeah. They just have to. Everyone just needs to give it a little bit of time. Actually, give it time for stuff to actually be released, and then judge it after the fact. I mean, so
Yeah.
many people were judging Last of Us 2 just off of the leaks and stuff that came out. The game is a alright game. It might not appeal to everybody because of what they were expecting out of the game, but some people enjoyed it. I think it's dumb that people are review bombing stuff, but you know, you have the diehards for Last of Us 2 review bombing Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima people review bombing Last of Us 2. It's a mess. Everybody's a mess on the internet. Just play the games. Just play them. Stop causing so many issues.
Yeah. It's funny too because both of those games look amazing. I feel like it's really showcasing what the PS4 was able to do.
Yeah,
It's great games to end the generation on.
yeah. So, viewer asked, do I know anything about PCs? Yes, I do. I actually build PCs. I work in the IT industry, so I know an alright amount, an above average amount about PCs. We're actually going to be talking about AMD in a little bit because they're releasing some new chips and new architecture. So we'll be talking about that soon. Uh, but right now we're going to move on to the next topic, which has to do a little bit with the Xbox showcase. It was the Phantasy Star Online announcement because I'm a fan of Phantasy Star Online, and you are a big fan of Phantasy Star Online. And they announced their new Genesis. It's pretty much a standalone game, and it's going to be in a new engine. So we won't be playing an outdated game any longer. We actually play this on
2012.
PC, everybody. So yeah. So what are your thoughts on it? Since you're a big fanatic of PSO2.
I mean, honestly, I think it looks great. It's kind of sad that I haven't been able to play more since I've been going back to work. I only have 400 hours altogether,
Yeah.
something light. So,
Yeah. Just the small stuff.
yeah, no, but I was falling out of it a little bit because of basically content drought. But I mean, I played so much of it at one time, for normal people, we'll say that normal people, there's enough content to last you like, maybe 6 months. But I played through all of it within like a month. So, you know, seeing this, I mean, I think it's amazing because it's something that I think they're just getting in Japan now as well. It's going to be like a simultaneous release.
Yeah.
So, it's like we got to bow down to Microsoft for being so good to us and working with Sega on this. You know, hopefully it does make it to other consoles. I'd be so happy if we found a port on the Switch or something, but that's, big wishes. But yeah, I mean the graphics and everything on this new Genesis game, it looks awesome. I
Yeah.
love it.
Well, actually, speaking of a Switch version, there was rumors that they were going to put it on the Switch, and that was actually after the Microsoft announcement. They said the other platform they were looking at was the Switch to release it on.
Okay.
So hopefully that does happen.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I think this looks good. I would like the graphical update. Sometimes it looks potato when we're playing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it looks great, and then sometimes, especially the character models are the main thing. A lot of the scenery and everything looks good, but sometimes the character models just look janky, and it's like, I think they need it needs a little bit of work. But the
Yeah.
fact that they're doing a whole overhaul and really trying to get this done, I think is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. Like with you, I started working again, so it's cut into time for different games. I would have liked to finish playing through Ghost of Tsushima, but you know, work calls. Viewer says they just built a new rig with a 2080 Ti and a Ryzen 9 3950X. See, I can respect that. It's much better than the rig that I have right now. My rig is just a 2700X with 32 gigs of RAM at 3000 megahertz and a 588 gigabyte. Um, I mean, it works great for 1080p gaming. That's all I'm really looking for right now. In the future, I'll upgrade it, but for now, it does what I need it to do. Uh, I do definitely want to upgrade. I need to upgrade my motherboard. My motherboard's kind of I don't like the way that the PCI Express is set up. So,
Oh yeah, what
oh, thanks
motherboard do
for
you
the
have? It's
follow.
like a
Appreciate it.
B450, right?
Yeah, I have a B450. Uh, what was it? A B450 Pro AC, which is like they sell them in mass to people who are uh basically making pre-built systems. Because I
Okay.
bought the casing from Micro Center and most of the parts were in there already. That's just a motherboard that it came with. But I mean, it does what I needed to do. But I would definitely like to upgrade it eventually. But right now, I'm trying to upgrade some of my podcasting equipment. Make sure everything's good. Make sure I have something for on the go. Because sometimes that's one of the reasons I couldn't keep up with the broadcast was because I wanted to record them and at the very least upload them to uh, Spotify, but I didn't have anything to record it while I was on the go. So it'll be good once I get all that together. Um, I'll probably invest in a camera too, so that way I have something to maybe upload to Twitch or do something. I'm working on things right now. Uh,
Yeah, it's probably a good idea to wait too because of the things that are coming up,
yeah,
especially with AMD and their big Navi and
yeah.
all that.
They actually asked what was the first thing I'm looking to upgrade. Right now, probably my graphics card. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I would do my graphics card yet. I'm kind of on the fence with what I would upgrade first. I would probably like to upgrade a couple things at one time, and then get into it. But I was looking at the 5700 XT, but like we were saying, there's supposed to be new graphics cards coming out. So I would probably still upgrade to the 5700 XT, but just wait until the new cards come out so the price could drop, and then that'll probably be the first thing I would upgrade.
Yeah, because it definitely depends on how much those cards are gonna go for. Because if they're going for like 750 for the big Navi cards, it's like probably rather wait.
Yeah, because that's what Nvidia does. They jack up the prices when they first release the card, and then they end up dropping them later. I'm like, why'd you even put it at that price to begin with? A bunch of people weren't even gonna pay that amount of money. But yeah, it just depends. But I'm definitely looking into that. I would like a new power supply. My power supply is not that great, but it's not too much of a necessity right now. I like my 2700X. I think I'll ride with that for a little while. Uh, it's pretty. The X series for most of the Ryzen run pretty good. They run ahead of a lot of the other chips. So I'll probably just ride with that for a while. But I'll be looking at a graphics card upgrade. All right, into the next article. Ghost of Tsushima. Bunch of articles. I thought I opened one up already. I was just on Google. We'll go to highlights of Metacritic. Yeah, but I like I have ad blocker, but all this stuff is just all over the place. This is the reason I have ad blocker because I don't mind these news sites having ads, but sometimes it's ridiculous. I could barely find the articles.
Yeah, yeah.
What would be the first thing with your equipment? Right now, I'm upgrading my what is it? My interface.
Interface.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a Zoom L8 that's supposed to come in, and that'll be my new interface. I love my mic. I'm using a Shure SM57 right now, so it sounds great. My interface
So
that I
am I.
have yeah, my brother's using one too. My interfaces are right, but the Zoom L8 live track gives way more options for doing things. So when I record this podcast, I'll be able to record it through here in OBS for my viewers, you guys on Twitch, and then I can also have a master copy on an SD card that I can actually edit for better audio. I appreciate all the the Dorito chips that I'm being sent right now, and the punch trees.
I gotta pull up your chat. I don't have it up.
Yeah, my chat is full of Doritos right now. I do like Doritos. I like the. I used to really like uh, the salsa Doritos. They're the best.
Brings back
But
memories.
yeah, let's see. Yeah, so the next article is Ghost of Tsushima. I'm currently playing Ghost of Tsushima. I really like the game. You could almost say I love the game. And yeah, it's great. It's basically like what would it be? The Way of the Samurai and Tenchu together mixed with some Red Dead Redemption. So, it's almost like a combination of all those things.
Yeah, what was it? The quartering. He said that it reminded him of a couple of those games.
Yeah,
He was given some good commentary on it.
it's great. It's like Red Dead Redemption with samurai. I was telling somebody at work that, and it just flows great together. Graphics are beautiful. You could sit there and just watch it forever. And there's so much to do. There's so many side missions. I get sidetracked with the side missions because I'll start playing, I'll do the main mission, and then I'll be going to another mission, and then there's a side mission in between that. So it's a lot of fun. They have
So, what game were you into on the PS4 prior to this? Like, what were you really playing before that?
I played some Modern Warfare, Overwatch, because I love Overwatch. Uh, and mainly fighting games like Tekken. What else was I playing on there? Tekken was the big thing I was playing, but then I started playing on Steam, so that's good.
Oh yeah, in reply to the comment, Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's one that I definitely want to play, but I definitely do not have a PS4 Pro. So, hoping it comes to PC someday, or hopefully it's backwards compatible on the PS5. Maybe I'll pick one up.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see that happening. They released Horizon Zero Dawn recently, um, on on Steam, and I think they released it in the Epic Game Store too. No, I think it was just Steam, and it did really well. It was selling good, so a lot of people are liking that. So you never know what these guys are gonna do. And since it seems like Final Fantasy VII was a timed exclusive, so they'll probably end up releasing it on PC. Let's see. What other chats do we have?
We got a bot. Let me see if I can ban the bot out of the chat. I think I got mod in your chat.
Oh, look at that. Gotta love the bots.
Oh yeah, look, the bot made me realize your category never changed to
It didn't.
IRL.
It didn't change it.
Yeah, it's
Oh my.
Ghost of Tsushima still.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe Twitch. I went to my. Uh, Twitch is a mess.
So you changed it on Twitch and then it reset when you started up Streamlabs.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So broken. Let's see if I can edit it in Streamlabs. Let's see. Podcast. Thanks a lot, Streamlabs and Twitch for messing everything up. Nah, it's not fixing it. Oh well, whatever.
I don't have mod in your chat, so I can't take out the bot. Oh well, it looks like he left.
Yeah, we'll just wing it. Sorry, anybody who's looking for Ghost of Tsushima. Uh, Twitch and Streamlabs kind of mess things up.
Yeah, I always found that to be so weird that it tries to what you call it? Like it happens on both things. It lets you change it on Streamlabs and on Twitch.
Yeah, and sometimes I change it on Streamlabs and it doesn't do anything. So that's why I went to Twitch specifically so I can edit that. And then it said it worked, but then it didn't in Streamlabs. So thanks Streamlabs. I appreciate you messing up my podcast listing on Twitch. I'll just have to double check that next time. But anybody who's listening, this is going to be on Spotify also. So if you just want to listen to it there's going to probably be an edited version. So it's a little more concise. Might be a little cleaner for you guys if you want to listen to it there. But yeah. Either way,
bleep out all the bad words.
Yeah, bleep bleep. Now I'll put car noises like they used to do on the radio back in the day. Cars beeping, trains tooting their horn. Yeah, but in the end, anybody who's here from Ghost of Tsushima, I have the Metacritic up right now, and from on a Forbes article, and we were just talking about that a little bit.
You got to talk about how you got the collector's edition and all that.
Oh yeah, so well, first off, it was a journey just to find this game because it was sold out in all the stores in my area. I had to check everywhere. I ended up finding 3 copies at a Walmart near me, so I had to travel to that Walmart. I finally got it there, but then I found out that they had on eBay there was a store selling the collector's edition for regular price. But I had already started playing the game, the one that I got from Walmart. So I still bought the collector's edition because I wanted the mask, and the mask is pretty cool. But yeah, so then I ended up trading in the regular copy, the launch edition copy. But at least I was able to get the launch edition content because I got it. I'm going to put my mask up so that anybody watching the stream can actually see the mask. There's the mask. Was it worth $170? I think so.
It's not gonna help protect you from COVID.
Oh, it'll protect me from COVID. Oh, that mask
It'll
will
keep
protect
everyone
me from
away
COVID.
from you.
Yeah, it'll keep everyone away. I'll scare everybody off. I was already scaring my fiance with the mask. She was like, "That's a scary mask." She's like, "You can't display that in the bedroom." I said, "Why not? I don't see any issue with that. I think it's perfectly fine." But yeah, it was pretty funny. I think it was worth it. The contents you get in the collector's edition are pretty nice though. Like it has a flag, a war flag, so I could hang it outside of my house when I get my house. My house will be Tsushima. It has a cloth map. That was nice. The art book's nice. It has great artwork inside of it for Ghost of Tsushima. I would like to get the full-size art book because that's actually on pre-order right now. Dark Horse is actually going to be releasing that. And yeah, it's a pretty good game. Good collector's edition. I like the game. I'll probably be playing a lot tomorrow. I'll probably stream it tomorrow. So if anybody follows and actually comes back to the stream, I'll actually be streaming Ghost of Tsushima, and it'll be the proper game and be listed properly uh, tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, but it should be fine. Cause I'll probably just stream it from. You'll see me streaming from my living room because I have a setup, so I could just stream it from my 4K TV. Because if you're gonna play Ghost of Tsushima, you gotta play it in 4K or in the PS4 Pro. That's just what you gotta do. But let's move on to our next topic, which is something that was actually talked about a few weeks ago. This article's from July 8th, but since I didn't get to do my podcast a few weeks ago, this was something that was on my mind, and I thought I would talk about it. And if anybody has, any thoughts on it, feel free to type it in the chat. We have 5 viewers right now, so we'll see what they think about it. But they're thinking about charging $70 for PS5 and Xbox Series X games. Now, if this is God, all these bots in chat. I wish I could sync and get rid of this stuff. How do I delete stuff from chat? Oh, here we go. No, that didn't do it. Give me 1 second, everybody. I want to delete somebody from the chat.
Gotta break out that Nightbot.
Yeah. Go into the mobile viewer. Go to my chat from here. Mobile viewer is completely useless. I go to click on chat, it doesn't give me any information about my chat. Nothing in Twitch works the way it's supposed to. No matter how hard you try, the stuff is just messed up. Now they're spamming the forbidden website in my chat. Everyone, don't click on that. They're trying to get me banned from Twitch, and I have no followers, so I appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely have to set up that Nightbot to get rid of stuff. I wish things were easier to navigate through here. Oh, here we go. I could delete messages through here. Alright, I was able to ban him. Yeah, boys. Banned. The ban hammer. Alright, so we got one ban in there. That worked out. That works. Alright, so back on topic. $70 PS5 and Xbox Series X games. So what do you think about that? I'm not very happy with that.
Yeah, 'cause what I remember back in our day, it used to be what you call it, $50 was it for GameCube games back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like the economy is bad or anything these days, but they're still trying to ring us for money. And then that's probably going to be for digital too.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah, so. And that's the thing. If it's digital, there's no physical copy to it. There's nothing you could touch. It's ridiculous. Why would you charge $70 for that? It doesn't give people any more incentive to want to buy the games that way. But I don't know. But I guess the way some of these collector's editions look, though, they'll be charging $500 and you don't get anything from it. There we go. I was able to clear some stuff out of the chat, so that works. I'm learning things, everybody. I'm learning how to do certain things on the
Yeah.
fly.
Every
Bam.
week some progress.
Yeah. I'm learning to Twitch properly. I usually don't have that many viewers, so I usually don't get bots that often either. So, but yeah, I don't know. I think that $10 increase is ridiculous. It's just gonna make us miss those $50 even more. And then they talk about
Yeah.
inflation, but it's like, I
Well, the only thing it's affecting is video games, I guess.
exactly, yeah, that's the only thing. It's not affecting the minimum wage, but it's affecting video games. You'll still get paid like, what is it still 7.25?
Yeah, yeah, I think it is still 7.25 in some places.
Look, you can't even afford video games now because the video games are advancing more than the minimum wages.
Yep. And then after taxes, it's gonna be what, one work day is one video game.
Yeah. Everybody's going to be broke. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, yeah, now we're getting on to Ryzen. Dun, dun, dun. Ryzen 4000 series. And it was all a lie. The cake is a lie. Old school memes. Um, so the 4000 series, they announced it. They've been hyping it up so much. It's, the new greatest thing coming out. But it's really just a 3000 series that they added graphics to. So a lot of the cards are running similar to the 3000 series chips, but now they put internal graphics inside of them. So it's kind of disappointing. A lot of people were expecting a lot more out of this, but I mean, people thought AMD's doing great, they can do no wrong, and then they went and they disappointed people with this current release. Which all these cards are, all these chips are G's. So they can still, announce a 4000 series that's just new chips. Because maybe this is just the first round and it's just all the G models. But you never know. Sometimes they announce things, sometimes they just crap stuff out, and you're like, what is this?
I think they were releasing quote unquote 4000 series chips on what is it? On laptops. And it was basically just the 3000 chips, but I don't know. It's so all over the place where there's 4000 series chips that are Zen 2, and then there's going to be new 4000 chips that are Zen 3, so I have no clue what they're doing.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know. This is another thing. There's so many rumors that go around, and you're like, oh, maybe I should wait before I upgrade something. Maybe I should wait before this or before that, and then nothing comes out, or they come out with something that is completely opposite of what you were expecting, or any of the rumors that were going around. So then you end up, disappointed again. But I don't know. Either way, I would still rather have a Ryzen processor over Intel, at least at
Yeah.
this point. A lot of the Intel 9000 chips, they're not very efficient, and they don't run as good as some of the older chips that they have. So sometimes you're just better off getting like a 7000 series chip than you are a 9000 series chip. So
Yeah, it's getting to the point that that basically an i7 is an i7 no matter what generation you get.
yeah, it's pretty thin out there with Intel. I think what happened was Intel was on top for such a long time, and they didn't really have too much of a competition with AMD, because AMD had like the Phenom chips, and then they had the uh, what do you call them? I just think of them as the bulldozer processors, because that was the original chipset that they were working with for them.
Yeah, the 8000 series or whatever. FX, that's
Yeah,
what they're
the
called.
FX series. Yeah, that's what it was. And where they first started with the 8-core processors, and they weren't too much of a competition for Intel, because Intel was doing so much more. And then once Ryzen came out, that was it. Like with the type of threads that they're pushing and the cores and the clock speeds and the way everything's working together, it's just been much better, and their price range is so much better. So like you get more bang for your buck than you do buying an Intel processor. So, yeah. I mean, I always went with AMD because it was just cost effective for me, but now it's cost effective and I'm getting uh, a somewhat superior product in terms of what I want out of the processor. Other people who are using it for different tasks, it'll probably be better. An Intel chip might be better for them. But in terms of what I'm doing, I prefer the AMD chip. I'm mainly gaming, and then I do some. I'm going to be doing some video editing, minor video editing, nothing crazy, but I mean, the threads and the cores and the clock speeds help in terms of all that. But yeah, we'll see what happens, what else comes out. It's only a matter of time before Intel announces something else. We'll see if they have anything that can compete a little bit better. Even like Dell and a lot of these companies that they've always used Intel, they're moving towards AMD now, and they're looking towards AMD as a good solution for them.
Yeah, I know on laptops, AMD's Ryzen processors are getting a little bit better. So I think HP is moving towards AMD for their gaming laptops.
Mm. Yeah, and a lot of it's looking like a lot of the business computers for HP and Dell, they might move them towards AMD soon instead of Intel, which is very surprising because it's been Intel for such a long time. Especially working IT in different places, I get a PC and it's Intel no matter what it is. HP, Dell, I mean those are the main two. Some people use Lenovo, but it just depends. HP and Dell are the main like corporate uh, computer producers that they use a lot. So they've mainly
But
been using Intel.
one of the issues might be that AMD decided to go with such a gamer aesthetic name like Ryzen. So when you think about it, like what corporation is going to want to buy computers whose processors are called Ryzen, you know?
Why not? That sounds awesome.
It's so sad.
What are you
That's
running in your office? I got a Ryzen. Because
yeah, it's
most people know nothing about computers, and they'll probably ask them, "Hey, what's inside of there?" "Oh, there's a Ryzen inside of my computer."
yeah.
Everybody's gonna
Always
be
with
like,
the
"What?
gamer
What is
aesthetic stuff.
that?"
That's why when I build my computers, I try to go with the least gamer aesthetic as possible.
Yeah,
So I try not to go with, oh, gamer graphics card and this and that. I want to try to buy stuff that's just like, yeah, it's a graphics card.
yeah. I think, yeah, even RGB. I'm not a big RGB fan. Most of my, uh, most of my RGB in my PC isn't on. The only RGB I have is on my, uh, CPU cooler. And that's just because I'm using a stock AMD one that has RGB in it already. And I don't feel like trying to turn it off. I'd rather just leave it on. It's fine, that little touch of RGB, but I can't have my whole PC glowing. Like it's like radioactive. I used to be big with the lights and stuff like that, but I'd rather go with something stealth. A stealth build. You don't even really notice it. We need those old cases from back in the day that are like all beige and they look like the computers from the 90s.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
And we'll find the best graphics card we can find, a Titan. There are two Titans and SLI inside of a 90s PC case.
SLI. Haven't heard SLI in so long.
Because it's useless. Crossfire and SLI are useless. If you have the money to blow, I mean, I guess do whatever you want, but it doesn't really boost your performance very much. You're better off just getting a single graphics card that has great capabilities and just rolling with that. because a lot of times some of the games, especially people gaming, if you're gaming, don't do SLI or Crossfire. So many of the games don't even recognize it. They'll only recognize one graphics card. So you can put it in Crossfire or SLI, and then it's just gonna read one graphics card. So then you spend all this money to to run a rig with two graphics cards, and it's only reading one.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. I mean, I guess if you're doing a lot of video editing and a lot of rendering and stuff like that, okay, maybe for something like that, or if, or if you're Bitcoin mining, there you go. Then you do that. But no, if you're just trying to play some games or something, it's pointless. Like there's no reason for it. I've been doing PCs for such a long time, and I've had SLI, and it was like it really didn't do much. Especially back in the day, I had two 8800 GT
Yeah.
GeForce
Yeah.
graphics cards, and it really didn't do anything. It was kind of pointless. But yeah, we'll move on to the final topic. Oh wait, in terms of AMD, you were talking about the new graphics cards, right?
Oh yeah,
You were
yeah.
saying about
It's
the
it's the
Navi,
big Navi. Big
the
Navi.
the big Navi.
Look at that. See
Put
these
that in a
attractive
put that
names.
in a business PC. What do you
Yeah.
got? I got the Ryzen Big Navi.
Yep.
Do you got a
Uh,
Ryzen Big Navi? I don't think so.
there's a few articles out right now. They said it's gonna have 16 gigabytes of memory.
Whoa.
So
Is
basically, it's gonna cost a lot of money.
is it GDDR8?
Who
Because
knows? I have no clue.
every year, every couple years, they seem to come up with some new graphics RAM out of nowhere
Yeah.
that no one asked for, but comes out. Supposedly it's better than the last one, but I have no way of knowing.
Exactly.
I have no way of soldering this GDDR5 into something and seeing if it's faster than the GDDR12 that they make up or something like that.
Yeah, because I know the PS5 and Series X, their system memory comes from the graphics memory. So like it uses both.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we'll see. Again, another thing that we'll be waiting for an announcement on forever.
yeah. It'll be next year by the time we hear something.
Yep.
It'll
It's
be
like,
next year, and then they'll be like, okay, and we're gonna release it in the summer.
yeah.
I'm getting
They
good with
said
these
late
bans,
2020.
man. I banned another bot. Now I know what
Yeah.
I'm doing, so I can just
I
ban
know,
them.
I don't even know how you're getting so many bots. In all my time streaming, I've never had this many bots.
I'm bot famous, everybody. The bots love
Yeah.
me. They could at least follow first before they start spamming stuff. I love too. They'll have like one follower on them, cause like it shows me like their information.
Yeah, when you
but
click on them to
yeah,
ban
it's
them.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all right. Moving on to the last topic, and we'll probably hit a little over an hour with this podcast. After I edit it, it'll probably be a little bit shorter, cause I'll probably edit out some of the where I spent like 15 minutes trying to figure out how to ban somebody, where it's basically silence. But let's move on to the last topic, which is about comic books. That's right, everybody. I'm getting into the comic book realm with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, there's this new book coming out called The Last Ronin, which is basically it's a story that Laird and Eastman, who are the original creators of the Ninja Turtles, they wrote this story back in the day, but they didn't release it, and they didn't publish it at that point in time because they weren't sure if it was the right time to do it. And basically, the story goes that it's like a post-apocalyptic almost type of feel to it, and it's like a dystopian society where like basically like the Foot Clan kind of won, and three of Yeah, three of the turtles are killed, and there's only one survivor. And it's like a really dark telling of this story. And now they're finally releasing it. I forget who's writing it. Who's writing the last Roman? Let's see if this article says. Yeah. Da, da, da. Tom Waltz. Yeah, so he's going to be one of the co-writers for it. But yeah, it looks really interesting, and I'm looking forward to this. There's so many variant covers getting released for it, but it seems like a really great story, and I like the darker Ninja Turtles from the comic books because the cartoons portray them as really bubbly and like joking around a lot. I mean, there's some joking in the book, but it's much darker than what the cartoons are. I've actually pre-ordered two of the variant covers, and I want to try and get the store variants that are supposed to come out too. So, but there's actually a we were talking about this a little bit earlier. There was this one variant that got released by this comic book shop, and they put the pre-orders up for it, and it was like a 300 print run for this comic book. It sold out like immediately. The cover is great. Let's see if I could pull it up for the viewers. So we'll go. It's by this comic book shop called Limit Breaker. I like I search it. It shows me Limit Breaker Goku. Limit Breaker Comics Last Ronin. Oh, it didn't come up. Let's see. Aaron Bartling. He's the artist, Aaron Bartling. So, this is what the picture looks like, everybody who's watching. So, this comic book sold out so fast. And I was like, man, I really like the cover. So, they said to follow them on Facebook, this Facebook page they have. And they'll have announcements of, if they release other versions, other copies, like metal covers and things like that. Because they actually release comic books that have metal covers on them. And, so somebody posted on the page and they're like, hey, did everybody see this? So on eBay, this cover of the comic book was selling for $900, which is ridiculous. The comic hasn't even come out yet. This is just pre-orders. There's old comic books from back in the day that don't even sell for that much money. And they're trying to get this money. But then worst of all, somebody actually purchased it for that amount of money, for like $800 or $900. There was like a couple best offer ones too. It's ridiculous. And what it does is it causes problems within the comic book market, because now like the whole supply and demand is just all screwed up, and it's just a whole mess. But I know you have a little bit of experience, not as much as me in terms of comic books, but what do you think about this?
Man, honestly, it's just ridiculous. I think comics is probably one of the worst scenarios when it comes to people price gouging, because there will be a book that is, maybe $10 one day, and then within the next week, that book could randomly shoot up to $200. And it's like there's no way of actually knowing what books you should be buying. And people try to make guides and everything, but sometimes those books don't go up in price, but then other books will randomly go up in price. So honestly, it's probably my least favorite thing about comic book collecting. um and I mean, people do it with other things too, whether it's pop figures, you know. But I don't think there's one category that does it more atrociously than comic books.
No, no, no. Wait a minute. It's not. Nothing's worse than the retro video game market. Now,
Yeah.
I would say that retro video games are worse. Worse than comic books are in terms of that. Because the and the reason I say that is the print run of a lot of the video games, a lot of times from back in the day, are a lot less than some of these comic books. And or actually are a lot more than some of these comic books. And people will go and they will price the games so expensive, but there's so many in the market and it'll be so much money. Have you seen how much Chrono Trigger is going for now? It's a
Insane.
ridiculous amount of money, and it was a common game. There was so many copies of Chrono Trigger sold, and I think it's hitting over $100 now. When it was like $60 for the longest, and then bam, it just like shoots over. It's like what? How? Especially when things get hype, they'll start seeing people collect for like the Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn prices just shot up out of nowhere. At least the comic book hits are on an issue to issue basis. Sometimes retro game collecting, it'll just be a certain system will get popular, and then bam, it just blows up.
Yeah, I guess it's good too because of how diverse comic books are. You know, you could be into one superhero, one comic series, and there won't be too many people trying to collect for it, so that way you could sort of, build up. Whereas with video games, it's like trying to collect, old Superman comics or something. I don't know. Where
Yeah,
it's like you're just in that one category and you can't really go out of it. If you're looking for something, someone else is definitely looking for it. So, at least in comics, you get those little niches that you can squeeze into and not have to pay too much for.
yeah. Like a lot of times, I've jumped into things before they became super huge, and then the books become popular, and then they're worth some more money. Which in the end, I'm more. I just enjoy comic books. And I enjoy the artwork of comic books. I like to display comic books. So that's why I collect them. A lot of times I don't collect them just for resale value. But sometimes it is an investment. So you put the money into it, and sometimes let's say you fall on hard times and you really need to sell that comic book, then you're good to go. You can sell it and you got some money in your pocket. I mean, that's what happened with some of my video games. I had to, pay a couple bills, sold a couple games, and I made some money off of it. Sometimes collecting's good, comes in handy. You have it in your back pocket, and you're like, you know what? I need a couple dollars. Just go, you sell yourself a game or a comic book, and you're good to go. You just keep moving.
Plushies, that's one that I got to get you
Yeah, yeah. And
in.
I need a plushie collection, everybody.
Yeah,
A whole lot of plushies.
I got to do commentary one day on it.
Plushie commentary. Descriptive plushies. We're gonna sit here and
Yeah.
describe plushies. We're gonna we're gonna describe plushies for the podcast listeners.
Yeah.
This is a fluffy plushie.
Goes deep. You don't know.
The market, and there's animals out there in the plushie market.
Yep.
I remember you were looking for those Sonic plushes before, and me and Mom had found some.
Yeah, that was a great series, the Tomy line of Sonic plushies.
Now, how many times have they changed licenses for Sonic
Uh,
products?
I don't know. It's seems kind of often, but I know Tomy, Jazz Juarez sort of throw it around. They're with someone else right now. I forget, but I bought a few figures from them. So, but hey, it diversifies the market, you know? If you want different qualities of stuff, you could try to buy different stuff.
you want
Good market right there.
you want a trash plushie, you get a trash plushie. You want a good plushie,
Yeah,
you get a good plushie.
that's right. You could go to the boardwalk and you could win one, and it'll be a really trash plushie, but you know,
Those are the
means
hardest
something.
ones. They feel like
Yeah,
rocks, like they fill them with the rocks.
yeah,
What was it? I had a Charizard one back in the day that
yep,
I won on the boardwalk. I think it was in Ocean City. Ocean City or Wildwood. Wildwood was the big one. Wildwood has a lot of games on the boardwalk to win fake plushies.
Yeah, I gotta take a trip down there
Yeah, you
once
gotta go.
COVID's over.
You gotta go to Wildwood. Just go get a COVID plushie.
Yeah, they
They
should
probably
make
sell
that.
one now. It
Yeah,
probably looks like a virus, and then probably all pink, has the purple thing sticking out of it.
why COVID?
Man, I had a good streak today. I had what, 3 bots? It was almost simultaneous. They almost all
Yeah,
came at the same time. It was probably the same person. They just have different bot services that they work with.
yeah.
They just sent them all. They released them on me. Like, send me your bots, but have them as viewers, so I can have a consistent 5 viewers.
Yeah, so you could grab that what is it?
Yeah, I need an
Affiliate.
affiliate. I need to hit 50 stinking followers. I'm at 9 again. So
Process.
yeah, I gotta build it up. My problem is I just need to be more consistent. Just like with this podcast for everybody. I need to be more consistent for you guys, so you guys have something to listen to every other week. I know I had a few listeners for the last two episodes, so I'm looking forward to keeping this going. If anybody was listening here, I'd appreciate if you listen to the podcast on Spotify for a little bit when it comes out tomorrow. I have an advertisement on there, so it helps if you just have a listen over there too. But I appreciate everybody watching on the live stream today, and I appreciate everybody who's going to be listening at home on Spotify or Anchor. Anchor's my distribution that I use. It sends it to Spotify, Google Play, and a couple other podcasting sites. So you'll be able to hear me and my brother whenever he's the guest. You'll hear us talking about all things nerdy over here. So we'll see how things go. And I'll keep this going. We'll keep you guys up to date with video game news, comic book news, tech news. Most nerdy things you could think of, we'll try and cover over here. Eventually, I'll have a few more guests, and we'll have more diverse interviews going on. So we'll see how things go and if we can keep this going. But it's been going pretty good. I appreciate all the viewers tonight. And anything you want to tell the listeners?
I think we just need everyone to tune in next time, see what we have in store. Hopefully less disappointments.
Yeah. Less disappointments, maybe a couple less bots.
Yeah. You know what? We probably got to go earlier. Maybe that's the issue.
Yeah,
We went on too late.
Yeah, we were a little late. We were trending at doing it at 8:30 the last 2 episodes, but we were a little late today. You know, I had to eat a muffin. You had to eat some mac and cheese. Priorities, all right, people? There's priorities here. But we appreciate everybody listening, and I hope everybody has a good night. I'll see you guys next time. I might be streaming tomorrow night, so we'll see what happens. Stream some Ghost of Tsushima. But you guys have a good one. I'll see you next time. And everybody listening, stay tuned for the next episode.